Kevin used to take practices and put me in the starting five. And he'd make it a competitive thing where the losing team have to run. So now I'm on the winning team, and halfway in the game, halfway in the situation, he would switch me to the losing team. So I take that as a competitive thing by you trying to test me. And by 9 times out of 10, the second team would come back and win no matter what he did.
And you still want to do that as a pro when you leave basketball?
Yeah, I do. A lot of people say I couldn't do it, which is more energy for me to try to do it. That just drives me. When people say I can't do anything, that means I'm gonna certainly try to achieve it even harder. My competitive drive is far greater than anyone else that I've met. I think that I thrive on that. I think that's my biggest motivation in life. Is to compete. Find different competitions in certain things in life and try to overcome that. Be it positive or negative. But I have yet to meet someone who is as competitive as me. And I just feel that much confident about my competitive drive. I just think that I have the habits of working hard. I always been taught that to reach a goal that in life that you want, you have to work hard to get to it. And so far, I just have that in mind.
Determination, what your motives are, what your ambitions were from the beginning. It's been a lot of soul searching in terms of it's easy to sit back and say, well, I've given my best. I'm tired. Somebody else got to do it or whatever. I didn't take that approach. I thought positively and said whatever I could do, every little inch of energy that I have, I'm going to try to provide for this team. I mean, if you give up, then they give up. So I didn't want to give up. No matter how sick I was, or how tired I was, or how low on energy I was, I felt the obligation, to my team, to the city of Chicago to go out and give that extra effort so that we could be here for the 5th championship.
How's the transition been from college to the Olympic experience and now to the NBA?
Well, I think it's been pretty easy. I think the Olympic was kind of pre-professional level. It was fast-paced, it was physical, and that's just the type of NBA game is. And, coming on this level is a brand new start for me, and I have to start from the bottom and work my way up. So, I think the hard work is ahead of me, and I'm willing to take on that challenge and go out and play the best I can.
Have you got enough left to carry this team if you have to carry them?
I hope I don't have to, but I'm the type of player that I'm going to leave everything that I have on the court, and hopefully that's enough. I was beat down because of the physical.
Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And peace to you, sincere brothers of True House of David, that's working hard, putting that effort in. Hard works beat talent when talent don't hustle hard enough. You see, you have men out there with talent, but they don't use their talent because they think they got it. And then you have a man out there that's not so talented but works hard, that beats that guy that has talent because he's not working hard enough. And one thing I see out there in these last days, I see we have a lot of losers in places where they ain't supposed to be, and that's how the Lord set this movie up. It's always fake men caught up in the realest shit. And that's what my man said. But that's just how it is, because it makes the ones that's about that business, that makes them really go harder. And by them going harder, it makes them stick out even more just by their work. And you have to be real with this truth. A lot of men, they got this truth, and this is something to make them look and make them be esteemed. And then on the other hand, they're not putting their whole effort. And a lot of men are not really they were setting this to be example how not to be. Because what this truth is, if you accept it more in this world, then that means you're really not teaching the word of the Lord like that. But if the less you're accepted in this world, that means you're teaching the word of the Lord beautifully. You see? So that's a beautiful thing. Remember, less is more in this world, because this world is wicked. So it's not about the numbers, it's about the quality in that one person. One man is worth 1,000. And that one man can outwork them 1,000 men, because that man has been sanctioned by the Heavenly Father. So what you see is, you see many men with titles and names and all that bullshit, then you see other men without titles and names, and certain men outworking these men. And it's all over. And then even Apostle Dahar said that a lot of guys ain't right, and a lot of guys ain't really into this work like that. That's in Great Millstone. So a lot of you goddamn hypocrites with that respect of persons type of fucking attitude, you know, when certain men say it, it's a problem. But when the elder said, oh, you know, you take that as a grain of salt. You take that as face value. When the Most High is going to destroy all of that shit, man. All of you guys in that wicked-ass evil spirit. The Lord is not with you guys. And you can see the majority of you guys are not right. The Heavenly Father is going to rip that whole shit apart, man. That whole respect of persons vibe that's out there, that lukewarm shit. And men sticking up for men that's lukewarm. By you sticking up for men that's lukewarm, that make your ass lukewarm in the doctrine, even though you doing videos, but you don't really want to go in and say shit about nothing. Because a lot of you have your hands in there with the wicked. So a lot of you want to keep your fucking look, and you don't want to say nothing. But the Lord tells you that when you have your hand in there with them, you're just as worse as they is. So that's why, you know, me, myself, and other men like myself that's putting they all into this. We encourage the younger brothers to go as hard as you can, because that effort, the Lord sees that effort. And a lot of these guys that think because they're somebody and think that the Lord is actually dealing with that shit, like the Lord is a respect of persons like they weak ass. The Lord ain't in the spirit like you. The Lord is dealing with each individual man that he picked out and chose as he is dealing with them. The Lord said he deals with who he deals with, and he had mercy on who he deals with. And a lot of you men out there, right, you have been deceived. Like the Lord told Esau, the pride of thy heart have deceived you, right? The pride of a lot of you men's heart have deceived your ass into thinking that you doing the thing that the Lord told you to do. And a lot of you men are very corrupt. And I'm going to keep speaking on that until we get the hell out of here, because the majority of men with this Bible, they take this thing as a joke. They don't think the Most High isn't dealing with certain men that they don't look at. The Lord is dealing with, and that's who the man is actually dealing with. That's who the Lord is actually dealing with, them men. And it's a beautiful thing. We love this thing, man. We love it like Mike. You know, as for myself, I give every ounce of energy to this truth, to work hard, to show that effort. You see, you can't deny the effort and the work and the spirit that the Lord has put on certain men in these last days. You can't deny that, man. You can't deny that. And then you got to tell the truth. A lot of you men don't fucking get it. You don't fucking get it. It's not in you to be like Mike. It's not in you to have a spirit, a drive and a motivational, a driving spirit like MJ. Or somebody just a hard worker that puts in that effort. And it's all about effort, man. Not that bullshitting effort that a lot of you men are in. And a lot of you men will be destroyed. The purpose of a sacrifice is to put everything you got into it. That's why when you give yourself up as that sacrifice, that means that you have to put everything into it. You see, the Lord don't want no fucking money. The Lord don't want no half-ass effort. The Lord don't want the likes of men. You can't pay the Lord off. You see, that money ain't gonna pay the Lord off, and your charm ain't gonna pay the Lord off, and you being liked by these mortal men, that's not gonna pay the Lord off. You're not in good standings with the Lord just because you're in good standings with certain men. That don't mean you could be lukewarm. A lot of men's heart ain't into this. You see, a lot of you guys will be destroyed because you don't have that connection with the Heavenly Father. If you're not in this thing day in and day out, giving it your all, putting up that righteous sacrifice, because a lot of you guys are in the spirit of Cain. When you go back to the story of Cain, Cain gave that bullshitting sacrifice, and then he acted like, you know, it wasn't nothing. And on the other hand, you had Abel, which gave up a righteous sacrifice because he had faith. And it all boils back down to faith. A lot of you men don't have the gift of faith, but you're teaching the Bible, and that's why when you teach, you're dead. And a lot of you guys are not going to the highways and the hedges. You're already defeated. A lot of you men will be destroyed. And on another note, we must have patience in this truth. We must have patience We can't be quick to jump to conclusions. A lot of these goddamn demons that's in the truth, they have jumped to conclusion. A lot of these guys are going to be condemned. The Lord is waiting on a lot of men so he can he's gathering all these undesirables, because you can tell a lot of men are lukewarm. And a lot of men have these emotional attachments to guys that's fucking lukewarm, that have made life-threatening decisions. And the men who they hated, they've been persuaded the wrong way to hate those men that they thought was wicked, or whatever you may call it, by men that's actually a bunch of goddamn demons themselves. And a lot of men are going to be destroyed because of that. So you don't want to be caught up in the middle of no BS, man. Have patience before you make a move, and before you really think an idea about a particular brother or a man or whatever. You know, have some patience on that. But as for you goddamn demons out there, the Lord is going to destroy every last one of you, man, and it's beautiful. You don't have the effort in you. You don't have the force and the means of this thing like MJ, man. You're not putting your all into this, because it's not meant for you to put your all into it. You are the example of how not to be, you see? And we do this thing to the utmost capacity because we love it. You see, we love this thing. There's not a day goes by that I don't think of the Heavenly Father and how I can please Him. Always meditating on lessons and things that I could do. And I'm meditating on this lesson I want to do for the brothers, man. Going into the woman on a whole nother note. You know, I've been meditating on that for a couple days. But, you know, it's not a hard thing, but just when the time, when the Spirit allows it, you know, you'll be able to get it out. But as for you brothers that's working hard, that believe and continuing on to press on, giving everything you got, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it, because the Lord sees it, the world sees it, the true believers see it, man. The true believers see it, the ones that the Lord are actually dealing with. The Lord is not dealing with the multitude and the majority of you men in these groups. The Lord's not dealing with the majority of men in these groups. The majority of men in these groups will be destroyed, man. Just because you got a name and a title, that don't mean that you made it. That don't mean that the Most High is dealing with you. As you can see at the time, as we see in these times, the majority of men in groups, man, they are not fucking right. A lot of guys are Satan, you see? So if you're not in the group, that don't mean anything, man. That's probably more better for you, because you got a lot of high demonic leaders that's in groups right now. That's not telling a man to stop being lukewarm. They can't discern when the Spirit is dealing with somebody, you see? You got a lot of men out there, they let this motherfucking pride in the way of the world blind their ass from really seeing who's in the Spirit or not. And a lot of you men ain't really going in this shit. You're not teaching about anything, because a lot of you guys are corrupt. A lot of you guys are wicked. But let me get out of here, man. Let me get out of here. I just had that on my mind. You brothers that's working hard, just keep doing it. The Lord sees it. Remember, the Lord said He will not forget your labor of love. The Lord is not like a nigga. A nigga will forget everything you have done for him. But guess what? The Lord will not forget it. So just keep doing your work righteously and be sincere with it. And I'm going to push on to the next one. And with that, hey, Shalom.